Have you ever noticed that when you walk into a bank to ask for a loan, they start talking about the constant payment schedule? Today we will uncover how it works, how to calculate it, and why it is the most commonly used repayment system in the world. But first of all, exactly 1 year ago, in November 2024, there were just 300 of you here. Today we have reached 30,000 people who decide to join this journey of business, finance and ideas. So thank you truly for every comment, every like, every view. It's been an incredible year and we are just getting started. So let's start from the beginning. When you borrow money, you need to repay two things. The principal, meaning the amount you received, and the interest, meaning the price you pay to use that money. Simple enough. But how you repay these two parts can change quite a lot. In the constant amortization schedule, the installments are, of course, constant over time. You pay the same amount every month, every period. That makes it easy to understand for both the lender and the borrower. But here's the catch. While the payment stays the same, what's inside each installment changes. At the beginning, you pay more interest and less principal. And as the loan progresses, you pay less interest and more principal. In other words, the bank takes the juicy part, the interest right away, and leaves you the pleasure of repayment the principal later on. It's like going on a diet. At first it hurts, and then you see results, maybe. Except here, instead of losing weight, you lose money. Think about it. Taking out a $10,000 loan at 6% annual rate for 5 years. The bank prepares a schedule where each monthly payment is the same, but inside each payment you will find two parts. The principal portion, which increases over time, and the interest portion, which decreases. So the trick lies here. Interest is always calculated on the remaining principal. At the beginning, your remaining debt is high, so the interest is high. As the months go by, the debt shrinks, and so do the interest payments. As a result, constant installments, variable composition. Let's make it practical. Open Excel. Enter the basic data. Principal $10,000. Annual rate 6%. Duration in years 5 years. Payments per year 12, means monthly. Now you need to calculate the constant monthly payment. The formula is the famous PMT, which stands for payment. Type this into a cell. PMT, 6% divided by 12, they are monthly payments. 5 years times 12 monthly, and 10,000 is the present value. Excel will return minus $193.33. The minus sign means money going out. Now let's build the full amortization table. We start from month 1. Interest 10,000 times 6% divided by 12 is 50. So with a constant payment of $193.33 less 50 means your principal after the first repayment is $143.33. Balance is 10,000 less 143.33, $9,856.67. Month 2. the interest. 9,856.67 times 6% divided by 12, 49.28. Principal is 193.33 less 49.28, 144.05. Again, the balance is 9,856.67 less $144.05 equal 9,712.62. And so on until the balance reaches zero. By the end of the schedule, if you sum all the interest paid, you will find that for a $10,000 loan, you pay back around $11,600 in total. So why banks use this method? For a very simple reason. It's predictable, organized, and ensures the bank collects interest quickly, reducing its risk. At the beginning, the loan you still owe almost the full principal. So if you stop paying after a few months, the bank has already pocketed a good chunk of the interest. It's pure risk management. They collect profit first and capital later. In other words, I will lend you money, but first I want to make sure I've already earned something, even if you quit halfway. Plus, it's easy to explain. You always know your monthly or period payments. No surprises, at least with fixed rate loans. There are, of course, other repayment systems too, less famous but interesting. The Italian method, decreasing payments because the principal is constant and interest decreases. And again, we have the American method. You pay only interest for the whole term and then you repay all the principal at once at the end, which is handy if you are expecting future liquidity, but dangerous if you are not. The constant payment system, instead, is the perfect balance between simplicity and security for the lender. That's why it became the world standard. Now, let's step into the real world. Imagine a $200,000 mortgage, 25 years, annual rate 4%. Mortgage payment calculation gives us a monthly payment of about $1,055 per month. Total repaid almost $317,000 and the interest is almost $116,000. So you thought you bought one house, but in reality you bought one and a half, and the other half belongs to the bank. So that's all for today. See you in the next week.